Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my sort of recap / roundup of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 21, and all the episodes that I missed since the last video I recorded. Ready? Okay, let's jump into it. You guys don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so if YouTube feels like, doing its job and letting you know that I put up a video, you'll be able to get notified about it. All right, let's jump into that. Okay, so let's start off with trifling ass Michael and Sarah, okay? Trifling ass, weasel ass, looking like his no good ass daddy Michael. Here's my roundup assessment of their situation. Sarah likes the drama. Okay, she loves it. It feeds her soul. She's got a new bae, Malcolm, and this fool drive 4 hours to come and see her whack ass. Sarah invites Michael to the baby's 1-year-old birthday party, and we know this is pre-coronavirus because they're indoors and no one has a mask on. And she's gonna have her boyfriend Malcolm there as well. She tried to let Michael know that Malcolm was gonna be there prior to, but I guess she doesn't text message him, and I guess she don't leave voicemails. And since Michael didn't answer his phone, she just didn't tell him that Malcolm was gonna be there. And Michael's feeling some kind of way. If he were to tell Sarah that he really wanted to live with them and be a family, she would absolutely take him back. So he just feels like Malcolm is just kind of this play to make him feel some kind of way and make him jealous, and it actually worked. So he gets there after talking with his mother, who I believe got a new headpiece because I made fun of her so bad. He's gonna show up to this baby's birthday, and when the baby doesn't want to have anything to do with him because she don't know him, he leaves. He feels some kind of way. I think he feels embarrassed. I think he feels moted. I think he feels stupid that he got there and she had planned this whole thing and there's all these people there that he doesn't really know, and he walked in as this trifling ass daddy talking about he didn't want to be there for anybody but his daughters. It's like, you don't get to just appear at a social situation given for your daughter and you didn't help at all. So Sarah, to me, is going out of her way for Michael, which shows me that she still has some kind of love for him. But also maybe I just don't understand the fact that's her baby's daddy / her husband. And she spent a lot of time and energy feeding into this relationship while he was in prison. So perhaps that's the reason why she can't pull away. And even when I think about it in that way, I actually feel kind of bad for her. Because I guess it would be hard. It's really only been a year, right? Because Rain is only a year. And Aviana is, 4. So it's just I get it. She's still in the space where it's really hard for her to break away from Michael. She's trying to convince herself and she's trying to convince Malcolm that she's done with him, but she really isn't. Michael ends up leaving the party and then calling his dad. And his dad tells him that he did the right thing. And I'm just like, no, you didn't do the right thing. And also he's in New York because he is going to court. Apparently they have to have some kind of custody agreement before they can actually file the divorce, which is okay. I don't know about, New York state law. She does that, has court, and Michael ends up partying and being with some other girl who is gassing him up and making him feel like he's the greatest dad in the world. And I'm just like, ma'am, what evidence do you have that Michael is a good dad? He doesn't even have a job. He gets money from women, and that's how he survived. What? Are we talking about the same person? Why are women attracted to Michael and drawn to him? He just gives me no good nigga ass vibes. You know what I'm saying? I just feel it wafting through the camera to me. With this girl, slept through the alarm, got MC hammered, couldn't get up, and he missed his court appearance. And I'm hoping that Sarah did the right thing and got her full custody. But in my mind, I know that what she did was kind of be like, well, let's postpone it until he can be here. I feel like she just punked out and probably didn't want to take 100% custody or whatever. The girl, take your custody. He didn't even show up. If he can't show up to court, is he going to show up in any other manner? He wants 50-50? No. You don't even come and do 25%. No, you don't get 50-50. So anyways, that's my take on those two. The next couple that I want to talk about is Shawn and Destiny. How did Destiny lose so much weight? How long has it been? She lost 40 pounds. I don't know how tall she is, but I know she's nothing but maybe this tall. I don't know, girl. But she lost a lot of weight. And she's hiding from Shawn. She's been having stomach problems. And Shawn doesn't know where she's at. Shawn is in the pool calling her sister, trying to figure out where she's at. Her and her sister are just playing possum. She has left Las Vegas and is in California. So it's just kind of I don't get Destiny and Shawn. And Shawn deserves whatever is coming his way. Absolutely. He's a fool and I don't like him. Next couple. Let's talk about Scott and Lindsay. Okay. Now, Lindsay's old trifling ass has a girlfriend who looks like, Tara Bell, or what's her name? Is that her name? Is that the baby's name? I don't know. Tara Bell looks like somebody's like Thea. Like the Thea who smokes a lot of cigarettes. You know what Tara Bell looks like? Tara Bell looks like the Thea who comes to the cookout. She's the oldest one. She had it the hardest. So she's the most like drunk and resentful. But she's the one who knows how to make the tortillas fresh. And so you just kind of have to be nice to her because you want her to make the tortillas. That's what the vibe Tara Bell gives me. And that's Lindsay's girlfriend. I'm so confused. I am just beyond confused. I just feel like Lindsay just dates down so that she can feel better about herself. Scott is trifling because he only wants Lindsay because she's young and pretty. But then Scott's trying to like reach out to her exes and see why those exes broke up with her. And I'm like, those aren't even real exes. Like, what? She's been in prison for 4 years. So you're reaching out to someone she dated when she was 20, 21, 22. Like, what is that person going to tell you? What insight is that person going to give you about Lindsay? And then you make some misogynistic like comments to that person. It just like, it's gross. I just want Scott and Lindsay to stop hitting each other back and forth with all of these like little things that prove that this person is trying to use this person. You guys are both using each other. Scott is right. Lindsay just wants any old man to take care of her. Lindsay's right. Scott fed her Disneyland as she came home to the county fair. And then she goes to get these modeling photos, which are just like, I hope that that man who took those pictures gotten his skills up since she's been in prison and she takes some better photos. And like Scott's like, well, are you going to take porn shots? And the guy's like, no, I'm not. They're about the same age. And it's just like this awkward conversation. Scott gets on the phone later on with his homeboy to try to figure out his situation with Lindsay. And it's just like, it makes me so mad when these men pretend like they're going to give these girls everything in the world and then they just give them nothing. And then we just have to watch these women get mad. Lindsay wants Tara Bell to move her trailer I have a question. Does Scott know that Tara Bell is Lindsay's girlfriend? What is really going down? And Tara Bell is talking to Lindsay about Scott's situation as though that's not her girlfriend. Okay. Next couple we're going to talk about is Brittany and Marcelino. So this is really the only storyline that I'm super interested in. So Brittany's having a hard time with her mother. She's already had to send her little sister Nicole back to Alaska to go stay up there with people because the mother came to Las Vegas and still kept up her alcoholic and pill popping ways, which is really sad because Brittany talks about the fact that, she didn't really have a childhood and she never really felt loved and her parents would just spend her money. And it's just, God, it makes me feel so bad for Brittany because she's like turned her life around so much right now. And for her to try to work through this with her mother and having to cut her mother off, her mother getting evicted afterwards, and then having to go live in this motel that Brittany has a lot of bad memories from because this was the motel that Brittany was raped in. She was 12 and 13 years old doing things with men and drugged out. I am so I can't tell you how proud I am of Brittany and how she's turned her life around because it's really hard for kids who develop on drugs to come out of it and be okay. And so she's really doing her best to help her mother because at her birthday party was this eye-opening experience where she had a conversation with one of her sisters who said that, she didn't want to be like Brittany, and Brittany, they're all drinking, and so a lot of tears are happening, and it's her dirty 30s, so she's trying to live it up, and she's dyed her hair blonde. It went from red to blonde, and I just think Brittany's so pretty. I love Brittany and her little kids, and they have their cute little backyard, and I'm so proud of Brittany, and I think that this is a testament to like how this situation could work out, and I'm glad that she's on the show to give us a ray of hope, and I hope that she's able to help her mom out. Now, her mom has lost about 40 pounds, girl, and she's pretty. I'm trying to figure out what drugs Destiny and Brittany's mom are on because they drop weight like that. And I'm not saying that I want to get on any drugs to do so, but I'm just saying, for those of us who have to work out and eat right, is there like a non-addictive drug version that I could just take so that I could do that? I'm just asking. She's offered to help her mother out to support her, to take her to AA, and to do all these things for her. And I really hope that her mother takes advantage of this. I don't know that she's hit rock bottom, and her mother doesn't believe that the synthetic pain pills are doing anything. And so that's a problem, right? If her mother hasn't really acknowledged that she has a problem. So I hope that Brittany and her mother are able to come to some kind of agreement. And I hope that her mother gets the treatment and the help that she sorely, sorely needs. So lo and behold, we have Amber and her mother and puppy. It's been 8 months since she's talked to weird ass, whatever his name was. And she couldn't do it. She couldn't go through with it because her family was like, her mother was kind of like forcing her to like get this man's money. She was just like not with it. So she's now working at some spot, and I'm really happy for her. I'm happy that she has a job. She is going to be taking care of her mother when her mother gets out of prison. And then her mother gets out of prison and is like, you couldn't just do it for the team. You couldn't take it for the team. And Amber's like, no. So she's worried that her mother is going to slip back into her old ways, because she says she used to make like $20K a week. And that she used to spend that money going out, partying, doing drugs, you know, going to the strip club. She just looks healthier. She looks healthier. She looks happier. And I know that her and her mother are going to have some kind of friction, because now it's love after lockup, but your mom is out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so initially it was her and, Vince, that's his name. I wanted to call him Hercules. Hercules. I'm interested in seeing how that actually pans out. I'm still interested in Sarah and Michael too, because as trifling as it is entertaining. Andrea and Lamar. Okay, so we have Andrea and Lamar. Okay, I love Priscilla. I love this whole little family. And Andrea keeps us real entertained. Even though she gets on my nerves, she keeps us entertained. In the last season with these two, Dulo offers Tennyson some weed. And Tennyson says no, and Lamar's like, man, don't do that. And they're having just like a man-to-man at Dulo's place. And then they get back to the house. Tennyson tells Nyla about the passing of the weed, and she's like, oh, you know, they're so shocked. Tennyson ends up telling Andrea? Yeah, Tennyson ends up telling Andrea when they're all having a family like meal. Andrea ends up blowing up, as she is known to do, trying to fight Lamar, and it's just like, okay. So just so annoying. So that's where that ends. Then we pick back up where Andrea has got a job. I guess she's working for Century 21 Girl and selling houses again. And she's frustrated at Lamar because Lamar isn't helping out around the house. Lamar is like, you need to get yourself a sister wife and leave me alone, which I thought was a funny little joke, because, you know, Lamar's making music, and I love how they feature his music throughout their segment. It's like, okay, it's not my kind of music, but okay, I support it. I hope they paid him for that music. Get your point. Okay, get your point. And so she's still talking about living in the ghetto and how she doesn't like it, and they moved to Watts and blah, 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 blah. But her one saving grace is that she really wants Priscilla to get baptized in the Mormon church. I guess it's traditional when they turn 8 years old for kids to get baptized. Her other kids are baptized, and she is like, listen, if Priscilla doesn't get baptized and she dies, she's going to hell. Can't have that, okay? So Priscilla needs to get baptized. Lamar is against it. Lamar says that 8 years old is too early for someone to decide whether or not they want to give their life to whatever religion. And so Lamar is kind of pushing. And then they have this big blow up, and Andrea says, okay, to make everything better, really consider allowing Priscilla to get baptized. I really want you to be there. Tennyson even has a conversation with Lamar about Lamar showing up and being there, and how he didn't have his father there for his baptism, but Priscilla has the opportunity to have her father there. So Lamar's like, you're right, I guess. So Lamar and Tennyson blow up this inflatable pool for her to get baptized in. It actually ends up popping because it hits on the barbed wire girl. And Andrea's pissed off, but they end up fixing it, putting it back together. They call over a white priesthood holder to be able to be there to, I guess, help Tennyson do it, because Tennyson is the priesthood holder in their family, as I guess the oldest male who is of the religion. So he's going to baptize his sister, which I thought was really sweet. And Nyla's there giving us all kinds of body, which I'm like, happy for Nyla. And Dulo shows up, and Andrea and Dulo have a come to Jesus moment where Dulo talks about how he was just kidding. He never was going to offer Tennyson or let Tennyson take it, but he knows Tennyson's a good kid. Andrea's like, why am I even listening to this person? He's high right now. And I'm just like, Andrea acts like she never had no life before being Mormon, and she doesn't understand that like people who are high on marijuana usually are completely functioning. Like, I mean, there are those cases of basket head who can't get through life, but like regular people are still able to hold on conversations and be normal and understand what's happening in front of them. And Dugo, I believe, is one of those people. You smoke as many blunts as he probably smokes. It's probably just natural for him. He probably doesn't even feel it anymore. They have the baptism. It's actually really cute. Andrea gets some kente cloth to add to her outfit, to add to the whole ceremony so that she can add part of her culture to it. And it turns out, girl, that Andrea is half Guyanese. Who knew? I assumed that they were African because the bone structure of those children, though, you know what I'm saying? The bone structure is amazing. But I had no idea that Andrea herself was African. I just thought the baby daddy was African or her ex-husband was African. So I was just like, that's why that structure is so strong. Okay, I'm here for it. I am here for it 100%. So she's talking about her culture and how the melding of the two culture. And she also says it wrong. She says Guyanan. And I'm like, it's definitely Guyanese. So like, I don't understand, like, she's not that close to her father. Then she does some like African dances for us. And I'm just like, all right, girl, I feel you. I could just get a little bit more Africa in this segment though. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Give us a little bit more Africa in your segment every single time. If I could see Nyla with a cute little fro, a cute little natural look, you know what I'm saying? Tennyson is giving us the natural. I'm here for it. So the next segment we have with them is Lamar and Priscilla going on a secret hangout with Lamar's daughter. And we start to get a real good glimpse on Lamar's daughter and how him being in prison has really affected her. And it just like hurts our hearts. And there's a segment with just the daughters talking to each other and how, the sister tries to explain to Priscilla that she didn't have Lamar there at all. And Priscilla's like, I didn't have him either. And this is just like, okay, this conversation's going nowhere. You're too young to understand what I'm talking about. And she sheds a little tear. And then Lamar comes up, has a conversation with his daughter and hugs her. And she's just like, I didn't even know the sound of his voice. And I'm just like, oh, it breaks my heart. So I really hope Lamar is doing what he has to do to get closer to his older daughter. And I love his relationship with Priscilla. Even though he makes Priscilla promise not to tell Andrea, which I think is the wrong thing to do. You never want to make a child promise not to tell their parent anything. And I know that she's going to find out and probably flip out, but it's all a part of Priscilla's genealogy, which is, I guess, something in the big in the Mormon church, which would make sense because Mormons are able to like track their family back generations because, as you know, the Mormons in America, where it started, they lived in little communes or whatever. They lived together. And so they just grew. So genealogy is important, which as a person of African-American descent, as enslaved Black people, we don't have that luxury because it was stolen from us. It's nice that, she's trying to figure that out for Priscilla, even though it probably doesn't go back very far because our ancestry was stolen from us. It was actually a good moment. So then the next segment we have with them is Andrea really trying to get Tennyson to go on this missionary work. And every Mormon boy, when they turn 18, goes and does 2 years of missionary work where they go to some place and try to force their religion on to people. And, you've had the nice Mormons come and knock on your door. And every time I have had a conversation with a missionary guy on a bike and a white shirt and a tie, it's always been a very pleasant conversation. Like, I've done my research about the Mormon church, so obviously I would never join it. But I always think, like, if you're looking for a religion and, you know what I'm saying, and you don't too much care about history of religion and racism, then I think the Mormon church, might be for you. Andrea wants Tennyson to go to Ghana, and I'm like, leaving people alone. And then I know they go to Samoa because there's a lot of Mormon Samoans. So like anywhere where it's randomly a lot of Mormons in a non-white place, it's because of the missionaries that have gone there. And so Tennyson's like, I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know that I want to leave you with Priscilla and Nyla. Like, it's too much. It's too chaotic. And so he says that in front of this white man, which upsets Andrea, and she's like, you're embarrassing me. And he's like, well, I don't know why you brought me here, and I'm just telling you the truth. I don't want to leave you with my sisters and the tumultuous behavior between you and Lamar. I thought Tennyson was cool with Lamar, but I guess he's just like, no, my mom's unstable. I gotta be there. And so Andrea's embarrassed, and she runs after him, tries to get him to apologize, and he's like, yo, you're the one who's making this dramatic and crazy. Just chill. And she's like, you're not gonna embarrass me. And he's like, it already happened. Chill. And I'm just like, Andrea, you brought this on yourself, girl. You brought this on yourself, sis. Like, start trying to force this man to go off and do whatever. Why isn't he in school? Why didn't he go to college? Why isn't Tennyson in school? Tennyson seems very smart. Why is he not in school? And I'm not on Andrea's side for this because I don't feel like he should have to go, you know what I'm saying, to do this missionary work. I want him to stay with his family and make sure that his mother is cool and isn't going to divorce Lamar and just like take off and do something crazy. But I feel for Tennyson and I support him. You know what I'm saying? I support my young brother. All right, you guys, so that's the end of this recap. Please let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you think of this season, of this franchise, of this show. I love this show. But yeah, we're gonna stay steady and we're gonna keep on. We're gonna keep on editing these videos. We're gonna keep on getting them out to you. And you guys have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.